स्पेशल कोर्ट का आज का जो निर्णय हुआ है वह अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है और हम सब के लिए बहुत खुशी का प्रसंग है।
All right, first up reaction coming in by LK Advani. He goes on to say it's a historic judgment by the court. Remember, he was an accused. He's now acquitted. And his first reaction brought to you live first here on India Today. If we have Rahul Srivastava with us, we must go back to Rahul Srivastava, given the fact that we just broke the story on how the CBI has refrained from making any comment on queries regarding the Babri judgment. Rahul Srivastava, if you can hear me, how do you view this particular development, given that the court has said that there's a lack of evidence against the accused? That is what the CBI court observed, that the incident was not pre-planned, and now the latest coming in is that the CBI is going to be restricting and refraining itself from making any comment on the queries regarding this particular Babri judgment.
Chetty, what happened on 6th of December 1992 was an incident that happened in full public glare. Lakhs of car sevaks were brought in. The BJP leaders and others have said it was supposed to be a symbolic car seva with the permission from the Supreme Court. But there was a violation. Hostile car sevaks eventually went on to demolish the Babri Mosque. The organizers were the BJP, VHP and other leaders. Now, the case was all about this, that it was an unlawful assembly. Provocative speeches were given out. There was a conspiracy to demolish the mosque. The CBI had also alleged that on the 5th of December 1992 night, there was a meeting at Vinay Katiyar, BJP leader's home, at that time a Bajrang Dal leader, that was attended by LK Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi and others. Now, it had to prove that there was a conspiracy. I think today the CBI has egg on its face. Why do I say that? Because the judge has said that CBI has not been able to produce evidence substantive enough to prove that there was a conspiracy. It seems that it was a spontaneous act. Now, the second very important element is subdividing the argument that the judge has said that if the CBI was producing certain pictures and pictures to prove that there were unlawful entry, assembly, there was a conspiracy, it did not even produce negatives. That shows very shoddy kind of a work done by the premier investigating agency. The kind of twists and turns in the case, the open charges of helping the accused in the case. In 2003 September, Advani being acquitted by a court, the case shunting between one court to the other, various legal complexities created. I think the CBI needs to get its work in order. The second,
and Rahul, I just want to mention one thing here. If you remember, the Supreme Court, while delivering the verdict on Ram Mandir, had said, and I'm going to quote here, it said it is necessary to provide restitution to the Muslim community for the unlawful destruction of their place of worship, unquote. That is what the Supreme Court had mentioned, and now this.
You see, yes, there is an admission that there was an unlawful destruction of the Babri Mosque. But the fact is, the onus of proving that there was an unlawful destruction of the courts led by BJP, VHP and other leaders, the onus was on the CBI. The court and judicial justice system requires investigation which produces substantive evidence, witnesses and others. Now, on one hand, for the accused, there are certain witnesses who are saying that these people, once the miscreants started rushing towards the mosque, wanted to stop them, appealed to them to stop. They wanted to go towards the mosque and tell people not to attack it, but they were stopped because of security reasons. The CBI, on the other hand, has failed to prove that it was an unlawful assembly. There were provocative speeches delivered, and there was a conspiracy. The law cannot move without proper investigation and evidence and witnesses. The failure of the CBI for over a 28-year period in which 17 of the 49 accused passed away, if the CBI could not produce evidence, and the judge is saying very clearly in the order, and the Supreme Court is saying it was an unlawful destruction, I think it's a testimony to how bad, shoddy a job that the CBI has done.
And as you said, this is an egg on the face of the CBI as well. Rahul, what is the sentiment that you're picking up at the moment as you're reporting the story right there from Ayodhya? What is the kind of sentiment that runs amongst the people? All right, we're getting some live visuals coming in. I'm coming back to you, Rahul, in just about a bit. Let's take a look at these live visuals that are coming in at the moment. That is LK Advani on your screens live after being acquitted by the special court today. The judge went on to say that the demolition was not planned, and these are the live visuals we're tracking at the moment. All the latest coming in right here first on India Today. In fact, he had given a reaction earlier where he said that this is a historic judgment. The CBI judge had said that incident has not pre-planned. All accused have been acquitted. CBI SK Yadav said that in his verdict that the act was not pre-planned. The court has acquitted all the accused in the case, including LK Advani, who you see on your screens right now, Murli Manohar Joshi and Uma Bharti as well. Let's listen in to LK Advani. That's the latest coming in right there. Latest live visuals on your screens of LK Advani right there. Whether it is LK Advani, whether it is Murli Manohar Joshi, they all welcome this particular verdict. And Rahul, why not? Why would they not welcome this verdict? The accused have been acquitted.
Chetty, yes, for the accused and the defendants, it's a moment of relief. But the law does not stop here. The judicial system in this country has multiple layers. And it is the onus is now on the CBI. And I think not just the CBI, I think the government of the day at the center will remain in the focus. Because if the CBI does not go in appeal, there is a 90 days period or a 3-month period in which the CBI can go in for appeal as a prosecution agency. If it does not appeal, then this government will also be dragged into the dock. Because over the last 28 years, there have been charges that under the Congress government, the case was distorted in one direction, while under the BJP, when the BJP was in power, this case was suppressed and pushed into another direction. And that is why the political interference element in this case has always been alive. And one will have to really wait and see. The CBI can say, today we have no comment. But the fact remains that the CBI will have to come out with a stand, whether or not it is appealing against this order, against all the 32 accused in this case in a higher court.
That's very interesting to note. Rahul, continue to stay with me right there. We're getting a whole host of reactions coming in on this particular story as well. Let's listen and we go back to Rahul from our perspective after that.
स्पेशल कोर्ट का आज का जो निर्णय हुआ है वह अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है और हम सब के लिए बहुत खुशी का प्रसंग है।
इस बात की प्रसन्नता है कि न्यायालय ने उन सभी तथ्यों को और साक्ष्यों को जो हमारे पक्ष में थे उनको स्वीकार किया है और ये बात बहुत स्पष्टता के साथ उन्होंने देश के सामने रख दी है।
We'll be on top of the story, get you more reactions as we go along the way. A lot of political reactions coming in as well. Taking a very short break here on India Today. This remains to be our top